So Gilbert Burns takes on Alexey Kunchenko on the prelims of UFC Uruguay. I feel as though it should be on the main card. I know why it's not, because for the life of me, this is a much better fight than the original fight that was proposed. Gilbert Burns taking this fight on short notice against a 20-0 savage from Russia. Won 2 fights in a row in his UFC streak so far. He's looking very good. Gilbert Burns takes it on short notice, moves up from 55 to 70. I like this fight for Burns, but first, I could not... This is one of the few moments where a short notice replacement is so much better than the original fight. Because I can't for the life of me tell you who the fuck Alexey Kunchenko is supposed to be fighting. I have no idea who he was supposed to be fighting. No idea. I'm sure I knew it at one point, but off the top of my head, no idea. And I've been paying attention to Alexey Kunchenko's career so far. He's a great guy. He's 20-0 out of Russia. I feel like Gilbert Burns takes this one, I'll be honest with you. I love... Listen, when a guy comes in on short notice, they know they're supposed to lose. Trust me, fighters are very self-aware people. Okay? They know exactly... They hear a lot of what's being said about them. They hear a lot of what's being said about their fight. There's a lot of dialogue in general about fighters and their careers, you know, outside of the ring. So for Gilbert Burns to come in there on short notice against a guy who's 20-0, he's moving up from 55 to 70. He full well knows that everyone and their fucking grandma is saying Gilbert Burns is supposed to lose this fight. He knows that, believe me. Which makes me like him as a winner here even more. Because for him to know that, he must know something that the rest of us don't. Okay, and this is what I said with the Colby Covington situation. Okay? I'm recording this before Colby fought Lawler. Okay? So this may be wrong or right, depending on what happens. But Colby taking the risk that he did against Lawler instead of waiting for a title shot shows that he has a lot of confidence going into this bout and knows something we don't know about training. Gilbert Burns moving up to 170, I want to say 2 things. He's taller than Kochenko. He's got a bigger reach than Kochenko. Gilbert Burns drains a lot of weight to make 155. Okay, and he's also a savage. A lot of people don't know who Gilbert Burns is. Gilbert Burns, if you look at his losses, they're nothing to, like, be sad about, you know what I'm saying? He's 15-3. He lost to Dan Hooker by KO. Fair enough. You know what I'm saying? That's a rough one. You know, that happens. But then you look at his 2 wins after that. Olivier Aubin-Mercier beats him. Mike Davis submits him. Now he wants to go to 170. And I will tell you something about Alexey Kunchenko, man. Records tell a lot. Records really do tell a lot. And when you look at a record, they really do say quite a bit about who you're looking into. And Alexey Kunchenko, man, I like the guy. I really do like the guy. I've seen his fights. I don't see why he's 20-0. I'll be honest with you guys. You know, when I saw Israel Adesanya fight Brad Tavares, I was like, right, I can see why this guy's undefeated. He controls the fight. He's technical. When I watch Alexey Kunchenko, I see a lot of times in a Thiago Alves fight, that was very close. And if you're coming in as a newcomer to the UFC and a massive undefeated, and he was 18-0 at the time, champion from Russia, you better be dealing with Thiago Alves. This post-USADA. You know what I'm saying? And I saw some of that fight could go to Thiago Alves. I did agree with the decision to Kochenko, but either way, that was a rough one. A really rough one, and it was in Russia as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, who knows? But what I'm saying is, when you look at Alexey Kunchenko, please, I beg you, before you watch this fight and make your judgments about what's going to happen, watch Kochenko fight. Okay? Just watch him fight, because I'm telling you guys, I feel like the record is not an accurate representation on how good he is. Okay? He's a very good guy, don't get me wrong. He's also 35 and he's only just got into the UFC. I know that. You know what I'm saying? He's 35, he's only just got into the UFC. I know Gilbert Burns is 33. But he's a much younger guy in terms of fight years. You know what I'm saying? When you grow up in Russia, I feel like Russians in general just age 10 years above everyone else anyway. But I want to say this as well about Russians. Honestly, I feel like Gilbert Burns is going to come in there and starch Kochenko in the first round. I'll be honest with you. I like Gilbert Burns. Okay, that's nothing to do with this decision. But I like him in this fight. I really think he's going to go out there. And I think with Kochenko, he likes to control the fight. He likes to control the fight. He likes to set his own pace. He's a smaller guy. He likes to work his way around. He doesn't cut much weight. He likes to sort of dance around, control you, see what you're about, get a feeling out process in the first round. And a lot of guys that fight him come out and do that. They pitter-patter in the first round. They do a leg kick. They fake a jab. You know, they get their timing together, and Kochenko's analysing all this. With Gilbert Burns moving up to 170, less of a weight cut, I feel like Gilbert Burns is the right guy to fight Kochenko, because if you think there's a feeling out period with Gilbert Burns, you're fucking very well mistaken. Okay? He comes out there like a fucking freight train, and he's looking to put a fist through your head. Gilbert Burns is the guy for the job. And also, I want to say this about Russians. You ever noticed that Russian guys, they always seem to have amazing records. Do you know what I'm saying? They seem to have amazing records when it comes to MMA pre-UFC. You know? I don't know what that means, but I don't know. It's weird. Like, every Russian you see come in seems to be like something and 0, something and 1. And you're like, wow, that record, it's insane. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say about that, but maybe you guys can tell me what I'm trying to say about that. I don't know. I just feel like there's not as much talent within Russia, and I feel like Russians in general, they fight Russians. You know? Like, they don't do as much of, like, in the US, like, there'll be some guy from fucking Europe just walked into a fight, and you're like, oh my god, who's this guy? And you're fighting a more mix of opponents. But Russians seem to only fight Russians. And I feel like that's kind of bad for them when they're trying to experience and get used to different skill sets. I think Gilbert Burns is going to bring that new skill set to Kochenko and piece him out real bad. Finish him in the first round. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Click that button. My neighbours are listening outside. Goodbye.